Welcome back to Build Breakdown. We have something a little exciting today sitting right behind the camera. So if you guys saw the last episode, more of a main video versus a build breakdown, we fixed the CNC, got some stuff done, got the little thing. This is maybe an hour after I broke the vise and have to go buy a hydraulic press for this piece now tomorrow. But a test piece of aluminum in here. So this is not the full, it's the full depth, or yeah, full depth and full width, but not the right length. We also have the program. So this is already ready. I've done everything beforehand. And so first thing it's gonna do is we got some holes cut out just to mount it once we hold it up. Oh, real quick, the reason we're doing this, obviously, you know, I mean the big sheet of aluminum. This is for, this is a brass rod. We're gonna use this for an adapter on the input shaft. That's gonna be another build breakdown if you're interested. The big sheet of aluminum that we're gonna make this out of, not super expensive. I think like 35, 40 bucks. Nothing crazy. But I don't wanna have to go and buy, like 3 or 4 of those. So I have the thinner one in there, which is all the same dimensions, just a little bit shorter, so that we can test it on there. If it's good on there, then we'll just transfer it to here. If it's not good on there, that is like half the price of this one. So I can go buy a few more of those and get some more life out of them for the same price to do some testing. So we're gonna start with that today, but I do wanna show you the program. I've mentioned some of this stuff before in some other videos. But first thing we're doing is we're gonna cut out some mounting holes. Then we're gonna cut out the top hole for the shift linkage that kind of pops out of the front of the transmission, which we still have to make a cover for, so I need to design that. And then the main hole where the main input, oh, my bad. The main input shaft goes through. Then we have just a little pocket for some bearing recesses, more recesses for the, for these ones here for the bearings, and one of there's a snap ring that goes around one of the bearings that holds that blocks the front casing from coming off, which I'm unsure why they do, because there's like 10 bolts that hold it on, but I didn't design it. So there's a bunch of all the recesses for that, and then we go back in and there's a little, you can kind of see it down here. There's a little, I'll turn all this stuff off. There's a little bevel right here for, oh my gosh. There's some little bevel here, right, that I guess it's just the shape of the bearing has more of a bevel to it versus these edges that the other one has. So that was in the front cover of it, had that, so I put that in as well. All of these are also roughing passes, so it's gonna be super fast. It's gonna take a while, but they're gonna be super fast, not as super detailed. When we get done, I'm gonna leave the model locked in place, or the stock of metal locked in place, so that if we have to go back in, all I have to do is the same tool pass, just go in and choose a different tool that has, it's the same bit, but it just has different settings. And it'll just go and do everything again, but at a slower speed, smaller step over, smaller step down. Actually, you won't even need to do a step down. It'll just need to do a final pass at that, whatever that height is. So I'd have to do some calculations to get it to do it at the right height. But I've adjusted my roughing settings because in the past, we've broken some bits, which we had a problem with the steel. Aluminum, not as much, but we do break some bits on the roughing passes. So I've decided to slow those down and be a little bit more conservative with them. When we get the upgrade for the 1/4 inch bits, I can probably move that back up and go really fast. But I'm gonna start this one. Also, look at our new, you can see our new oiling system. So it's just a aluminum tank with a hose here. You can see the, it's a different fluid. I got like a gallon of it versus the little bottle. We won't really need to use that on the aluminum. We may use it on the aluminum. We shouldn't have to. The aluminum does fine just vacuuming it up, which also, another upgrade. The vacuum was blowing chips everywhere because I guess, I don't know, the filter inside isn't small enough micron. Do you measure air filters in microns, or is that just like fuel filters? I don't know. So that's just like a dust collector bag that anything that the vacuum doesn't catch, that will catch it. Because everything has just been covered in aluminum dust recently. Not big chips, obviously the vacuum catches that, but just like dust. Well, just as I was about to start it, I hit start and they started to move in position, and the Y-axis that moves back and forth, the whole bed, when it moved back, it moved, but it sounded rough. So now we get to investigate that. Well, I figured out what it was, and luckily, we have some extras because we've already dealt with this problem. Luckily we didn't take out the motor. Don't know if I'll be able to show this, but right there, that coupling is broke. So if you guys remember, the reason we broke the CNC the first time was the coupling broke, somehow took out the motor. Luckily the motor still works on this one. And I was smart and I ordered extra couplings, which now I'm gonna even order more of. So now I get to spend the next hour taking this apart, because that one's in a decent position. This one is not. There it is. That's upside down. We'll have to, it didn't quite cut all the way through on these holes. They're supposed to be all the way through, so but it's super thin, so I need to clean that up. And it's also just dirty, but yeah. If you compare it to that, I don't know if you guys can see that with the light. Same thing. Now I just have to test it on the transmission and see if it actually fits. I just finished cleaning up the parts that had kind of left. The only issue I see with this, I mean, could be a lot of issues. I did the settings a little bit wrong, and I had to go back in for another pass, and it I don't know if it calibrated it wrong on the second pass or something, but there's like a little lip for the extra material I had to take off. That's not really a problem. It'll still fit. The biggest fitment I'm looking for is the size of these circles to make sure it fits in all the bearings. So that lip would mess with it this way, which just means it wouldn't sit flat again. So not my biggest concern right now. Yeah, I don't think it fit. So the bottom bearing is 55.6. The inside of this is getting 55.9. So we're a little bit bigger there. I think it should be fine. I'm wondering, so in between these two bearings, there's like a little space. I'm wondering if that is too large. The smallest point between those is 7.9. Mine is 5.3. So what's our problem? Because it's not, you can't see from this angle, it's not sitting flush against this. Like I can get it on there, sure. But the doesn't want to sit flush. It feels like it's a problem with the bottom. Like this, I can get the top to sit flush, but the bottom I can't. Yeah, I just measured the height, and we should be fine height-wise, because obviously the bottom one isn't cut all the way through. But I got 7.1 right here, and then when you put that against the block or the casing, it's probably closer to 6. So we've got plenty of depth. We've got plenty of width. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. This stuff is what's interesting to me. Figuring out this random measuring stuff, the CNC, all that. This stuff is so cool. It's frustrating, but it's cool. So appreciate you sticking around with me. We're rocking on the CNC right now, which is exciting because that means we get to start moving to the inside, which is as much as fun as I'm having with this, like I just said, I'm ready to start wrenching on the car again, so that'll be fun. More to come, I'll see you in the next one.